After Sister Natasha died, Sonia began sleeping in the hospital. She returned home to wash her clothes a few days a month. But those days became fewer and fewer. No reason to return. No need to wash her clothes. She only wears hospital scrubs anyway. She wakes on a cot in the trauma unit. She sleeps there intentionally and in anticipation of the next critical patient. Some days, roused by the shuffle of footsteps, the cries of family members, she stands and a body takes her place on the cot and she works on resuscitation, knowing she is awake because she could dream nothing like this. A man is waiting here to see you.
About what?
He's right out here, waiting you. A minute later in the hallway, the man introduced himself. My name is Ahmed. He speaks Russian without an accent, but by now Sonia feels more comfortable conversing in Chechen. A short beard descends from Ahmed's face. For a moment she thinks he's a religious man, then remembers that most men have grown their beards out. Few have shaving cream, few have mirrors. The war has made the country's cheeks and chins devout. He gestures to a small girl, no older than 8. My wife and I cannot care for her. You must take her. This isn't an orphanage. There are no orphanage. Praise is not uncommon. The hospital receives humanitarian aid, has food and clean water. Most important, it tends to the injured regardless of ethnicity or military affiliation, making the hospital one of the few larger buildings left untargeted by either side in the war. Newly injured arrive each day, too many to care for. Sonia shakes her head. Too many dying, she cannot be expected to care for the living as well. Father was taken by the rebels on Saturday. On Sunday, the army came and took her mother. Sonia looks at the whole calendar as if a date could make sense of the times.
Today is Monday.
I was a medical student before the war. In my final year, I will work here until the home is found again. Ahmed glowers. Sonia often says defiance from rebels and occasionally from soldiers, but rarely from civilians. Survey the corridor. A handful of patients, no doctors, those with money, with advanced degrees, and the foresight to flee the country have done so. Parents decide which of their children they can afford to feed on which days.
No one will take this girl.
Then I will keep working.
Does he speak? What's her name?
Ava. The howl longer than Sonia thought necessary. They ate dinner before the sun went down. Potatoes boiled over the furnace. The army had cut the electricity lines 4 years earlier. They had never been repaired. They spent the week in a state of high instability. No prior questions. All talk was small. What Sonia noticed, she did not comment on. Ahmed is true to his word. 5 minutes after Sonia accepts the girl, he is washed and suited in scrubs. Sonia takes him on a tour of the hospital. All but 2 wings are closed for lack of staff. She shows him the cardiology, internal medicine, and endocrinology wards. A layer of dust covers the floor, their footprints leaving a trail. Sonia thinks of the moon landing, how she saw the footage for the first time when she arrived in London.
Trauma and maternity wards, and we're struggling to open them both.
Trauma? That's obvious. You have to keep trauma open. But maternity?
I know. It's funny, isn't it? Everyone is either giving birth or dying.
No! They are coming into the world and they are leaving the world and it's happening there. Sonia nods, wonders if Ahmed is religious after all.